Hello everyone. So today in our session we are going to learn about how to interact with multiple classes and its functions by creating object of different classes, guys. As we have already done how to create classes and object, so today I'm going to tell you a usage, like how we can use multiple classes. We know like Java has also Java has also its own ready-made classes, code classes like a scanner, system, math. That is again a class, and we can use its functionality. Sometimes we create object of a class, sometimes we don't create object of a class. So the thing is that if I want to create my own multiple classes, my 2 to 3 multiple classes, and I want to create object in one of my class and want to call the functions and want to do something, so how to do it? So in our today's session, guys, I'm going to explain you first of all what I'm going to do in this program, and then we are going to start with the coding. What I'm going to do is I'm going to design here 3 classes: first class, second class, and this third class. In my first class, I'm going to give a name. As my class is first only, I'm going to write here first, or if you want, I can write here the name of my class, that is some. Basically, what I'm doing is I'm simply writing here Kelsey, because CLC is already designed, so Kels one I'm writing here. Similarly, I'm going to give another name to my class, that is Cal2 and then Cal3. So here I'm just going to write as CALS2, and then here I'm going to write CALS3. So in this way, what I'm going to do is I'm going to design here 3 different classes: CALS1, CALS2, CALS3. And in all my classes, in all these three my classes, I'm going to design now. I'm going to declare here a few data member and one member function. That's it. So what I'm going to do is in my cals1, I'm going to declare here data member as A, comma B, comma C. Similarly, what I'm going to do is in cals2 also, I'm going to declare here 3 variables as L, M, N. If you want, you can use here ABC also, because these all are 3 different classes. So we can write here. If you want, you can write here ABC also. So what I'm writing here, A, B, C. Similarly, on cals3 also, I'm going to write here int A, comma B, comma C. Now what I'm going to do here is in cals1, I'm going to design here one function, that is void sum, where I'm going to add A and B value together, and I'm going to print answer in C. And similarly in cals2, I'm going to design here void mult, that is a multiplication function, where I'm going to multiply, I'm going to print the answer, and here I'm going to subtract. So simply I'm just writing here sub, and I'm going to subtract, and I'm going to print the answer. And for this, I'm going to design one common class where I'm going to create object of cals1, object of cals2, object of cals3. This is my common class where I'm just going to create an object of these 3 different classes. And the name of this class will be master. I'm going to give a master. You can give any name according to the task, whatever you're performing. So this is my class, and whose name will be master. What I'll be doing in this, guys, I'm going to create object of cals1, cals2, cals3, and I'm going to call, or you can say I'm going to access the services of all these 3 classes, and I'm going to write here public static void main in this class. I'm not going to write PSVM in this cals1, cals2, or cals3, but I'm just going to write the public static void main in this master class. So let's just start a practical without any delay. I'm going to design the same thing, whatever I have done. So I'm just writing SCLS. This is cals1. Guys, this is my cals1 class. I'm just going to keep it here so that you will be able to see it properly. I'm shifting all my codes at the side. I'm creating my one more class, that is again cals2. And I'm going to drag and I'm going to keep it here. This is my second class as I have designed in my paint editor. I'm going to design another class, that is cals3. Cals3 is again done, and again I'm going to drag, I'm going to drop it right here. Now next Next, my master class I'm going to design here, that is MSTR master. This also I have done, and in this class I'm going to call all my classes functions. This is my main class, you can see. Now I'm just going into a Cals one, guys, and I'm start writing a code. I'm going to declare here 3 variables, and I'm going to write here a code of sum. So this is my class. What I'm going to do is, just like we do in all our classes, I'm going to select whatever text I have written. I'm going to select my entire text, and I'm going to delete, and I'm going to write my own code. You can see here I've selected the entire code, and I'm just going to write my own code. My class name is Scales1. I'm coming to my next line, creating here a space. And first of all, if you know, in my paint editor, I have declared there are 3 variables I'm going to declare here, that is a comma b comma c. I'm coming to the next line, and I'm simply going to write here void sum. So guys, while I'm writing void sum, I'm not going to give any value. I'm not going to pass any value. Why? Because I'm going to give value to A to B in this function itself. If you want, you can use here a scanner also. I'm just giving a value without using a scanner. A I initialized with 2, and B I'm giving that is 3. In C, simply I write C is equal to A plus B. So my A and B will get added up in C. And simple, I'm going to print my answer to the console. System.out print ln. So this is what here I'm teaching you how you can interact with so many classes together in one class. Basically, classes and object and OOPS is all about this only. I'm giving you a very simple example. Through this, you will be able to understand the structure, what we do actually. Basically, we can create packages also, and then the classes in this. But in this example, in this simple example, I'm explaining you only classes and objects. So I'm just putting a concatenation operator. I'm writing C because I'm going to print my answer here. So guys, everything is done. As I have already told you, I'm not going to write here my public static void main. This I'll be writing in my master class. So it's a time to apply indentation. You can see I've applied indentation, and this code cannot be run, but it can be copied. So your dot class file will be created. You can see here no syntax error. I'm simply going to copy this thing because same thing I need to do in other classes. Only I need to change the sign. In next class, you can see the first one we have done sum. Second, I'm going to provide multiplication. I'm coming back to my code. Multiplication, we are just going. So this is my multiplication. Here I'm going to provide basically multiplication. I have pasted. My class name I'm going to change, guys. This is 2. And here I'm going to provide multiplication. So I'm simply going to change the name, that is MULT I have written. Addition A and B I have done. In place of addition, I'm simply going to do multiple here, and I'm writing here MULT. Simple. I'm not going to do anything else. You can see I'm simply changing a sign and a caption. I'm closing this thing. Now, third one, I'm going to provide here subtraction. So I'm going to my third class, that is Scales 3, and I'm going to select the entire thing, whatever I have written. I've pasted my work here, and I'm just going to edit, guys. This is so simple. I'm simply writing here 3, and you can see this is my subtraction. Here I'm going to change the sign, and this will be my B. This is all done. My work is done. I'm simply compiling this thing. I'm not doing anything else. Now I'm coming up to my master class. What I'm going to do, like guys, this is your main class. You need to see this class, what I'm doing here. I'm simply writing here class. I'm writing here master, coming to my class. I'm not going to declare here any data member because I'm having already everything in my subclasses. I'm simply writing here public static void main. Public static void, and I'm going to write here main, guys. I'm coming to the body, and I'm just going to do one thing. I'm just going to create the simply the object of my classes. This is Cals1. This is my Cals1 class. This is my obj1 is equal to new. I'm again going to write here Cals1. This is parenthesis, semicolon, and I'm simply copying and pasting and pasting. And this is my class number 2. This is my object number 2. I'm initializing with the same class name. This is Cals2 only. This is my Cals3. And this is my object number 3, guys. And this is my Cals3. So you can see I have created object of all my 3 classes. I've initialized even. Now this is the time to call. So the moment I write here like obj1 dot sum. So guys, you know this thing because in Cals1 I have defined my function sum. So some function will be called from Cals1. I'm going to copy. I'm going to save my time. I'm pasting here, and in my object 2 means object 2 is of my class Cals2, and in Cals2 I've declared MULT. So I'm just going to write here MULT, LT guys, because I have defined there one function whose name is MULT. Now I'm just going to write here obj3.sub sub, because subtraction is a function which I have declared in my third class, that is cals3. So I have just called the function. You can see guys, I have not done anything. I simply created the object of my different classes, and with obj1 I'm calling some function. Why? Because some function is defined in cals1. Obj2 I'm calling multiple because mult is defined in cals2. Sub I'm calling from obj3 because obj3 is the object of class cals3 and sub is defined in cals3. So I'm simply going to call and it will be done. I'm creating on clicking on compile. I'm coming back to my main class, that is master class guys. You can see one relation in between. You can see the arrow will appear automatically. You don't need to do anything. This arrow will appear automatically. What is the meaning of this arrow? Because I'm connecting, I have connected, all three of my classes with this master classes. You can see. Now you can see a proper relation in between all my classes. I'm not going to create, see, you don't need to create these arrow keys. This you will get automatically. This you will get automatically. You can see here my cals1, cals2, cals3, all three classes are connected to my master class guys. So what I'm going to do, I'm simply going to right click to my master class. Here I'm going to right click and I'm going to compile first of all. I'm going to right click and I'm going to click on void main. So the moment you click on void main guys, you can see sum is called up. It is already, it is called with the help of the object which you have defined in cals1. With the help of cals2 object, you have called its function multiple. With the help of cals3 object, that is object 3, you called sub. So you can see this is 5, this is 6, and this is -1 because this is subtraction. So I'm going to provide this code to you guys in description. But one more thing what I want to do here means if you want, you can, you can pass the variables, you can pass the values also. I'm going to explain you how. You can see this is my cals1. I'm going to open my cals1. Like if you want, we have already discussed this thing, like we have different types of functions. So all different types of functions can be applied here. If you want to give the values, so you can use here any dummy. I'm using here dummy of A, and you can use here any name, but I'm trying to take a little more logical so that you will be able to understand. So D and DB I have written, that is dummy name. Dummy name of A, dummy name of B, and I'm not going to give the values if you are going to give from public static void main from master. So I'm simply going to write here DA plus DB. Both the things will be added and I'll get to know the answer. So in this way, what you can do is while you're calling sum from cals3, you can give the values. So I'm not performing this thing to in all my classes. If you want, you can do it now. In cals2, I'm going to give you some other example. Like if you want to return the answer, guys, here you can return. But in this case, then you don't need to write here. You simply need to write here return C. Return C if you write, so you will be getting your answer and you are going to catch the answer. So this is the second type of the function, means function is not accepting but returning. And in third one, I'm going to apply both the things. Function is going to accept, function is going to return as well. So I'm simply writing here dummy of A and dummy of B. I'm going to add, but this time I'm going to return also guys. So simply I'm just going to write here RETUR and I'm going to return. One very simple thing, I'm going to remove all my lines because it is so simple to return. Simply you need to write return DA plus DB. If you want, you can add D and DB in C and then C can be returned. So one more line can be added, but I have compressed this code in one line only. So what is this returning? Basically, it is returning integer value because when you add integer, you will be getting answer in form of return only. So what I'm going to do is I'm coming back to my master class. Definitely now call also will get changed. Call also will get changed because here you're passing the value in cals1. So I'm going to pass here 2 and 3 together in second object. Cals1 is what we are doing in cals1. So let me go and check what we are doing in cals1. This is my cals1. In cals1, I'm passing DA and DB, means I'm passing one value to 1 and 2, means two value I'm passing this to sum. And then it will be added and I'll get my answer back. So I'm coming back to master 1 and this is my master. Okay, this is what I've initialized in constructor. This I don't need to do. Okay, this sum function I'm calling. So I'm simply writing here 2, 3 because I'm passing these two things in my sum. And guys, multiple I'm not giving, but multiple is returning me something. So if you want, you can catch it, or if you want, you can directly print it in system.out.println. So both is up to you. If you want, you can direct print also. I'm writing a system.out.println. And here I'm just going to write here answer. So I'll be getting my multiplication here MULT, and you just need to come out and so if you're thinking you don't know the function by mistake, if you're doing anything wrong, so you are going to get a message, exception error message right at the hand. You can see the red highlighted dot. When you click, it will expand and you will be able to correct your mistake. So debugging is also very very easy in PUJ, guys. Now subtraction, we are giving the values as well as we are getting the answer also, so both the things are possible here. So I'm going to give you one third last example here. I can print directly in system.out.println also. I don't need to waste my variable. I'm simply printing here, and you will be getting the answer. So, and this is subtraction. So definitely I'm going to add a caption here. I'm writing here SUB. It is all done. I'm clicking compile and I'm going to apply indentation now. Now you can see my entire code is indented. I'm going to click here on compile. And I'm going to come back to my code and I'm going to run my master function, because you can run only the class where you have written your public static void main. I'm simply coming back to my class, and please see from here, you can see the answer is same, but the procedure of writing the thing is quite different. In sub, I'm passing the values this time from public static void main while I'm calling sum, and here in multiplication I'm catching the answer and printing, and sub I'm giving the values and I'm getting the value also, like from sub function. So this code I'm going to provide you guys in description. One more thing, if you want, you can use constructor also. You can see here, I'm just going to use constructor also. Definitely I should use, because I'm declaring here my data member, so I can use a constructor also. I'm writing here CALS1 because constructor we have already done, so you will be able to understand. This can be a quick revision for you guys. So whenever you are designing a project, first approach is we mostly design projects in this way, and it is very simple because we know that things can be kept on different places and different classes can be fetched very easily. So this is my default constructor what I'm using here. I'm just initializing some value to A, B, and C, because 0 is the default value of integer, and that is the reason I'm just giving a 0 to each and every one here. You can see this is done. So I'm just going to remove unnecessary spaces. So this is my CALS constructor, and this you have to call while you're creating an object of your class. This will be called automatically. Now what I'm going to do next, now I'm going to do this with all my classes like CALS2 and CALS3 also. I'm going to do it. I'm simply pasting here because my data members are same, so I don't need to do anything. I simply write another name and it will be done. So this is default constructor, guys. It is important, as I have already told you, if you're not doing, Java will be doing on your behalf automatically. Java has some constructor, which is basically, what it is doing. It is just initializing your data member with some default value. Default value we have already discussed in our last class. So the same default value will be given. Only class name. So when it will be called, like in master class, whenever you're creating an object in this class, you can see your CALS1 constructor will be called and your ABC will get initialized with 0, means ABC will get initialized with 0 because 0 is the default value of integer. So here your CALS2 constructor will be called, you can see, and here your CALS3 constructor will be called. So guys, this is all about, like in this example, in this session, I've explained you how you can use different function, how you can create object of different classes, how you can call function, how you can give values to the function, and how constructor can be called, how constructor you can define and you can use it. So this is all about, calling or using function of different classes by creating the object of a class, guys. So you need to practice, then only you will be able to understand my next class. So thank you so much.